Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Vorm, and this is SÆLIG. So, if you missed my first look stream of SÆLIG, which is only on Twitch, we played a few hours and kind of got a bit of a basic foothold on the interface and the gameplay elements. So, I decided to, for this video stream, go ahead and restart. We're going to take a different focus in what activities we're gonna follow, and I'm also gonna turn on the advanced rule options. So, yeah, there you go. If you're not aware, SÆLIG is one of those solo dev labors of love. Been around for a little while now, constantly gets updated, very responsive developer who's constantly answering questions and making updates and improving the game, which is great. And it's very much in the vein of The Guild, if you're familiar with that game, where it's a medieval life sim. We're going to be creating a character, we're going to be picking a map, and then within that map selection, we're going to have a bunch of different choices for what kind of starting situation or scenario we want to begin with. A lot of variation, a lot of options, but other than that, it then drops you into the world with all of those choices you've made. And it's just an open world sandbox from there. I don't believe there's any kind of story, any kind of quest system or anything like that. You basically just try to survive in the medieval world that you've organized and thrive and grow your family and, you know, do that kind of thing. So, tons of options, lots of gameplay elements we haven't seen yet. Should be a hoot. So, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to hit new game. Get over here, Mr. Tree Chopper. You got a different job. All right, so he looks fine. We'll just leave it on that character right there. Continue. All right, we are going to be Vorm of Family Ithrax. Day length, normal, days per season. I'm actually going to change this. I'm going to go to 2 days per season. So it's going to be 2 days and for spring, 2 days for summer, etc. And then once that we have passed all 4 seasons, 2 years will pass. And that helps simulate advancing time so that we can have a dynastic kind of gameplay where we want to get a family going and have our children grow up, hopefully survive and grow up. And then we would pass on our gameplay to the next generation. Then player needs on, of course, raids. Let's go medium on raids. And then advanced, a lot of advanced options. So these are the default settings. I'm going to turn on probably all of these. Let's take the training wheels off. So immigration control, if you're a town elder, sure. Allow people to directly die of starvation, sure. Storm damage, sounds fun. Upgrade with wood. This will be a big change here. Turn on use wood to buy building upgrades and repairs instead of silver. So instead of the kind of default universal lubricant to life, having money, you actually have to get, chop, gather, buy wood in order to do building upgrades and repairs. So it sounds like that's going to be more of a difficult situation, so let's do that. Nails for construction. Similarly, if you want to build things, you got to also have nails. So again, instead of just cash, now we'll need wood and nails. Arrows, whether or not arrows are required for bows. So I'm planning on doing a hunting butchery run this time. We're gonna focus on hunting, getting hunting skill with our starting character choices, as well as picking that as a scenario option. I've done a tiny bit of testing with that, so I'm somewhat familiar with the process, and this is going to add arrows to the world, essentially, and it'll be a resource that'll deplete as we go out hunting that we'll have to replenish, and it looks like they might be somewhat rare to get a hold of, so I'm going to try to gather up as many arrows as I can before they get bought out on the markets. But yeah, so that adds another difficulty. That sounds fun. Increase skills. If enabled, the player and AI will each get an additional set of random high-level skills at game start. Sure. I'm just going to turn them all on. This sounds like it might make it a little easier, but I'm going to go all on so I can kind of experience them, and then we'll get a little more particular about what we use. And then advanced farming. When enabled, overall crop yield is reduced, and manure and fodder can be used to improve production. Production is reduced further if they are not provided. Sounds good. More depth, more complexity, more difficulty. All right, so they're all turned on now. I'm not going to mess with these settings. I don't have a good feel yet for just what this is going to affect. No additional raiders, no additional max wild animals. Yeah, well, we're going to leave rich immigrant wealth alone, and common production events we'll just leave at 5. All right, so there we go. There's our starting setup. Let's go ahead and hit continue. And now we answer our questions to kind of set up our character. It's multiple choices. Basically, whatever we pick is going to give us skill points. So, knowledge in milk and wool, eggs, fruit and vegetables, knowledge in porridge, soup and biscuits, healing, herbal tea, balm, herbs and healthcare, knowledge in entertaining, supervision and education, and then begging and pickpocketing. Let's go with eggs, fruit, and vegetables. We're going to be kind of, well, at the start at least, we're going to be a woodsman. We're going to be starting very poor, I assume, and we're going to initially go with hunting, selling all the products from hunting. My hope is we can then buy our way into a butchery so that we can get kind of a second level production going for the hunting materials, the meat and the hides and so on at the butchery. Then we'll add on to that production chain with hopefully a leatherworking business. And I'm not sure what else kind of dovetails into that process. So we'll just kind of go from there. That's as far ahead as I've been able to think. But we're also going to be needing to keep ourselves fed and so on. So I think of these choices, I'm going to go for eggs, fruit, and vegetables. So we're faster at harvesting mostly the fruits and vegetables. We won't be worried about eggs too much at the very beginning. Unless we get into the baking stuff. So, next up, Father. Probably going to take his skill in battle, because that's going to give us melee and archery skill. Hunting, or hauling and melee. Meat, leather, and flour milling. Pickpocketing, whaling. Charm and weapon crafting. Ale and mead. Fitness, and begging. Yeah, we're going to go with skill in battle. We want to bump our archery up as high as we can, because that's the critical skill for our hunting. Childhood, what did we enjoy? First thing we really enjoyed, melee and firewood, fruits and veggies again, chickens, pickpocketing and waylaying, entertaining, hauling and fitness, shooting a bow, absolutely shooting a bow. As we matured, arson, wood and iron, what do we got? Bows, axes, and silver charms. I don't know if this is production. Yeah, it's not saying archery. It's saying production, and it's craft goods. So I don't think I'm going to worry about crafting bows. That's not really our focus. We're going to start with one, I'm going to assume, since we're going to start as a hunter. And there's no durability, and there's no variation in bows that I'm aware of. So I don't think we need to worry about that one. Wheat, barley, and oats, no. Lovemaking, higher chances of conceiving children. Hauling and trading, or waylay and break-in. This one's a little less. I'll probably go wood and iron, because I think that's going to help us with tree chopping. That's the other activity I foresee us doing. Hunting, gathering fruits and vegetables, and chopping down trees for wood. That's the 3 primary activities I think we're going to be doing. So that one I'm kind of leaning towards. If not that, hauling and trading, because we will start trying to work our way into businesses, and hauling, I think, speeds up your cart. Which one? Wood or hauling and trading? Let's do... Man, if we don't start with some skill in wood chopping, it's going to be really slow. Yeah, let's do the wood chopping. I think we can... Hauling and trading is going to rise automatically pretty commonly through the activities we're going to do. I think this will slow us down more. All right, and then as we're moving out, what's the last thing you want to do before you leave for good? Pie making, fruit, veggie, and eggs again. Ale and mead, fitness, arson, pickpocketing, and firewood. I guess it's going to be fruit, veggies, and eggs again. All right, and now we talk about our ancestors. We're going to go with steadfast Saxons because they've got archery. Substantial initial boost to trading, archery, and +1 additional relationship points from every interaction. The other choices are boosted learning rate for craftsmen, tailoring, and farming. The Britons, boosted learning and production rate for herbal items, and high immunity to mild disease. Northumbria, substantial initial boost to fitness and hauling, and the cold of winter will have much less of an effect on you. And finally, the Danes, substantial initial boost to melee and waylay, and all charms will last longer. So yeah, we're definitely going with the Saxons. All right. Next choice, map. I'm going to go on the same map as I did before. It seems like it's kind of an intro map, which was Whitland, I think. Yeah, Whitland. So Whitland, a large map. A lot of room to run around and explore. 4 towns, 3 markets. Each town also has plenty of room for expansion. Spend your days at the water, in the forest, in the hills, or the town. Map has it all. That's what we need for this still early learning journey. And then these are all the various choices we have for the map. So last time in our test game, our first look, we did this one, Addercop. And it gave us a sack of coins. We had like 2,000 coins to start things off with, and we started our businesses. This time, we're going to become a hunter. So we're going to hit start here on the hunter. Feel at home in the woods, hunting animals. It's a hard life, but animal hides always fetch a nice amount of silver. But a lot of choices here. Business owner, employee, village drunk, the village beggar, landlord, man's best friend. So a lot of cool kind of scenario start choices, which I find interesting. All right, we're going to pick hunter. And in we go. Giving people medicine and clothing will help keep them happy. I got to figure out how to do that. All right, we got all of our knowledge gains. I've paused the game. There are time controls. We're currently paused, so it's pausable real time in kind of a top-down / ISO format. We can pivot the camera, whatever view angle we want, and zoom in and zoom out, etc. That is us, right there. So here's our map. We're starting near Addercop? Yeah, Addercop. So this is the usual orientation that I look at. So yeah, Addercop. There's the market for Addercop, the little hill to the side. So in our test game, we came up here and we bought the farm. We bought a farm and we grew barley, and then we made a mill to grind it into flour. And we were kind of working our way up through that process. But this time, we are right here next to a tent, which is essentially our house. So this is a bunkhouse. It's kind of like a public tent. I don't know how many slots it has, but there's a limited number of slots in here. But that's where we're going to be sleeping. So not the best accommodations for now. So let's take a look at the map. So on the map for hunting, we have animals that we're going to go hunt. Deer, fox, boar. Like there's a whole bunch of deer up here. There's a pack of foxes. There's another pack over there. What else we got? There's a boar, another boar, more foxes. All right. Another kind of farmstead out in the middle of nowhere. Then we got some deer just across the way from us here. We also have a veggie patch and a fruit patch. It is currently spring, so I think the fruit is too early. Yeah, we can't forage fruit yet. Hey, pause. You shouldn't be moving. Yeah, so we've also got fruit and berries right near our little sleeping tent. We're just down the road from the town. Where in the town? There's the leather worker. We'll hope that we can acquire the leatherworking business before anybody else does. But first, we need to get the butcher right there. There's the butcher. That's going to be my focus. We're going to try to get cash as fast as we can so we can purchase the butcher. 2,000 silver. All right. And then we'll need a little more than 2,000 because we'll have to pay taxes and wages before we can get it up and running production-wise. But, yeah. So we'll try to aim for like 2,500 before we pull the trigger on buying that. Again, hopefully before anybody else gets to it. So butcher and leather worker. I don't see... We got a shed. That's really all Addercop has. There's an ale house. There's a bunkhouse in town next to the chicken coop. Where's the... Yeah, that's the ale house right there. And that's about it. So we don't have a workshop. Some of the other locations are a little larger. They've got a few more businesses available. But I think we'll be plenty busy. Oh, we got an herbalist hut kind of set out to the side there. We'll be plenty busy just trying to get to the butchery. So our focus at the moment is going to be just hunting and selling the products. That's pretty much it. And then we'll gather up fruits and vegetables as necessary to keep ourselves going. We don't have to buy from the market. But it is spring. It's 8 in the morning at our start. Our character is here. We are Vorm of the Ithrax family. Wilderness, we're idle, we're 18 years old. We start with 3 small traps. Yeah, small game traps that we'll be able to place down and try to catch some foxes, I assume. I don't think they actually list what animal you catch in those. It just gives you the meat and products, so it's probably just foxes and rabbits and so on. What else we got? Information. Yeah, let's look at information. So, these are our skills. Of note, we're pretty good trading. Well, we actually got a pretty good supervised skill. Okay, hauling. Not worried about baking. Butchery. Ooh, we're only 28 on butchery. Although we hopefully won't be doing much of it ourselves. 59 digging. Why the hell do I have 59 digging? And what do you use digging for? Each new level increases a chance of bonuses when digging graves. We're a grave digger. Alright, apparently that must be a job. 69 archery, wow. Did we get that random high-level skill bonus on the archery? Because that seems really high. Increases your effectiveness in bow combat and hunting. Terrible melee. What else we got? Nails. Small game traps, 19. Arrows of 21, but to produce those, probably the workshop building, which I think is a bit more expensive to get into. Distraction, shipbuilding. Pig hide and carcass. Reduces time it takes to complete a pig hide and carcass production. Okay. Guess we're going to want to hunt boars every chance we get. We're all the way up at 70 on veggies. Yeah, I think next run I might try not engaging that high-level skill thing. I think that's boosted our skills pretty significantly in a few ways. And wood cutting of 27. All right, not awesome. Okay, and we have 200 bucks. 200 as opposed to 2,000 we started with last time. Okay, next thing I need to know before we actually start moving time is Addercop Market. What are you sitting on? You got veggies. You got 4 carcasses, 17 meat, and 2 small carcasses. Oh yeah, we do need to get an axe as quickly as possible too. I'll have to focus on those before I focus on the buildings. 'Cause some of these like weapons and stuff, they tend to disappear from the markets pretty quickly. So I need to be able to chop wood. So the axe is going to be important, and the arrows are going to be important. So that'll be my initial focus. Every piece of money we get, I need to get at least 1 axe, and I need to buy up as many arrows as I can. So I don't know how rare they're going to get once the initial markets get bought out. I might use most of my 200 bucks to immediately go buy the arrows. All right. So Zoom back over to our character here. So that's the plan. So what I'll do is I'm going to come out here. I'll set the traps kind of right out here. I don't think it matters really where they go. I think it's just a production timer. We'll hunt this initial deer. We'll maybe grab a few veggies to munch on. And then we'll head into town and we'll buy up the arrows. Maybe I'll get both these deer and we'll sell the products. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, so let's get started. So to set the traps, oops, it's hold, set trap. Go ahead and speed time up a little bit. Come on now, don't be finicky. Alright, we got our trap set. Let's go ahead and go hunt the deer. Kind of automated. Long range shots, arrow missed. Close shot. I don't want close shot, I want dead deer. Damn, how many shots? We got like a 70 skill. How many shots is this going to take? Wow. That seemed like an awful lot of shots. What, we lose like 5 arrows trying to do that? That is not a good ratio. Animal successfully butchered. Carcass received. Animal skinning unsuccessful. So we didn't get the hide, but we did get the carcass. Okay. Now we go after... So we got some limitations. The biggest limitation is going to be our inventory slots. So we've only got 6 slots plus the 4 for our persistent stash. Backpack is another high need item. Let's go... I'd like deer and boar primarily. Maybe we'll go here, then the boar, and then we'll come back down into town. And speed things up again. Oops, keep forgetting I can't zoom in on this map view. I'm just going to use the map view for a lot of this stuff. So, oh, I think we got it on the first try that time. We took 2. Fitness level increase. Alright, so unsuccessful on the skinning again. I really need the skinning to be successful. Is there a separate skill for skinning other than like the butchery skill? I don't... Yeah, skin... Oh, that is terrible. How the hell are we at a 2 on skinning and butchering? I don't think I saw any skill choices during the character creation that had to do with this. So we're having to learn this from scratch, so that sucks. That's going to be terrible. It's going to be really hard for us to get the actual... I mean, we can kill the animals, but we can't process them for nothing. Oh, that is going to be rough. Whew. All right. Well, yeah, that's going to suck. That is going to suck a lot. Our ability to actually generate cash out of this process is severely curtailed by that terrible skill number. Traveling merchant. So, what do you got? A traveling merchant. He's also got axes and arrows. All right. Back to Vorm Thrax. Hey, we actually got the hide that time, and we got the carcass. That's the best possible result right there. We want the hide and we want the carcass. All right, let's go ahead and move these items up. Here's the biggest problem with just our persistent stash in our pockets. Nothing stacks. Each item is its own separate slot. So that's what the backpack does. The biggest benefit of the backpack is all of the slots will stack items up to whatever the stack limit is. which is like 5, I think, at the beginning or something like that, which is huge, huge. So we want to try to get a backpack as quick as possible also. All right, we've got space. Let's keep hunting. That's going to be more important than gathering fruits and veggies and such. Ooh. Pause. Gotta remember to keep pausing. Time is critical at this point, so we're full up there. We can do maybe 2 more animals. We got a deer, several deer to the north, and then we got some foxes down here. I think it's going to be more important to get the deer. Unsuccessful, unsuccessful. Not good. So we just got a little bit of meat instead of either a carcass or a hide on that one. Hello, little deers. This will be our last one, most likely. Ah, failed again. Yep, double fail again. All right. We need to head back. Oops. Time to head to town. Off to the market. Move faster. I don't know. Possibly. I somehow doubt it, though, just based on the way I've seen the systems work. I think a butchering attempt is a butchering attempt is a butchering attempt, and just what you get as output is probably the only difference. But I could be wrong. All right, agricop. Yeah, Atorcop market. So we've got hides selling at 52 at all 4 of the markets, so no change there. I think they're all base value still. It's going to take a while before there's going to be much differentiation as businesses get established and things start to shift. So for now, let's just go ahead and sell everything. Alright, I'll grab some veggies to munch on. We're already at 44 energy and 39% on stomach. And it's already 7 p.m. Wow. Well, we managed to get our cash up to 650. Please tell me you still have arrows. Oh, somebody bought out all the arrows already. You some bitches. You some bitches. Does anybody have arrows still, or did they instantly get bought out? Oh, man, they instantly got bought out everywhere. Ah, I should have come to the market first and spent that 200 on the arrows. I knew I should have done that. Well, that is a big problem. Because we're already at 39 out of 50 arrows after the first day. And, when we hit 0, my primary and only skill is going to become totally irrelevant unless somewhere... Yep, every single arrow got bought out on every... Oh, wait. Nope, arrows. All right, we're going there. Yep, go there right now. Run. Do not walk. Run. We must have arrows. Buy all. So this part is a little weird. You all there. This interface is pretty terrible, because I can't just directly put them here. I have to put them individually in my inventory first, because I don't have a backpack. And then I have to transfer them over to, I guess, the quiver. I don't know how many this little, whatever this represents, the quiver will hold. Apparently more than 50. I want all of them. I wish I could just directly say from here to here, but it won't let me. All right, 73. We got arrows. Well, I got money left? I got money left. I'm buying an axe. Just one axe, please. Take that out, put that in. And then a backpack is the next biggest, but we don't have the 528 buy price. So that'll be my next focus. If we can get the arrows, the axe, and the backpack as early as possible, we'll be golden. All right, so we got that done. Do you have just... I can go get my own veggies. All right, so I got a hen right there, or a chicken coop, do we? All right, I'm going to head back towards this area, just grab some vegetables, and then go to sleep. So let's go here and forage. So if you're wondering about, graphics and all that, single developer, labor of love, and it's very much a time resource management game. It's a spreadsheet game, essentially, with timers on the resources and skill checks and so on. It just happens to have a graphical interface. So it's a graphics interface on top of a spreadsheet time management sim. So I'm not overly worried, but the graphics are functional. There are some interface things I wish I could do that are a little odd, mostly in the manner of manipulating inventory items. But that gets cleared up quite a bit once we get the backpack. We won't have nearly the crunch and the oddness and a lot of that stuff. And I'm not sure what other things might come later that help out as well. The post storehouse, running low on certain goods, now requesting deliveries. So these things are a little weird. At the very beginning, they pay very terribly. And I believe what's going to happen is as time passes, prices are going to get depressed for a lot of the items that these guys look for, because more and more businesses will be established by NPCs and the markets will get saturated. So they'll be paying less for items at the markets. Because right now, when I look at these numbers and they tell me that they're buying oats and they want 75 oats and they're going to pay a fixed rate of 13 silver per, the benefit there is you can deliver a large number at that full fixed rate, and the price doesn't go down as you saturate the demand. Whereas if you go to the market and you sell 75, you're not going to get 13 for each one of those that you sell at the market. The price is going to depress and depress and depress. So you get a fixed price. I think that's the benefit, especially on an item like this where you can deliver a bunch of them. But if we look at the pricing here, I mean, we can get 14 at all the markets. But there's 0, 2, 0, and 0 quantity of that at the markets currently. And as soon as you start filling that demand and increasing the quantity available, the sell price drops steadily. So right now, the benefit is the price won't drop when you deliver a large amount. And later, like I said, I think these same kind of things, when there's a lot of people on the market and there's NPCs that have got businesses up and running, they'll be providing material and the prices will drop. So unless the price also drops for these little missions, then I'm wrong. But I think that's what's going to happen here. So, but otherwise, right now, it doesn't look like a good deal. All right. Back to Vorm Thrax. Following his little waddling adventures. His stiff-armed waddle walk. All right, we are gathering veggies. So we are at 29. Definitely need to eat. You eat by just moving an item into the eat charm section here. So first two, we're going to go there. We're up to 87. Definitely need to get to sleep. It's almost midnight. One more veggie, please. All right, that's enough. Get over here. Hopefully there's room in the bunkhouse. There is room in the bunkhouse. All right, we're off to sleep. So we're watching this number here, the energy level while we sleep. Our percentage will go down as we digest our food, and our energy will go up. Right now, we're not really beholden to any kind of a schedule. We're just a hunter sleeping in a common large tent that a lot of the local hunters and poorer workers use for sleep. We're going to try to get a house up, but we got other priorities first. Let's speed up to the max here. Aw, floating dandelion. Dandelion fluff. Okay, I need a place to store my sea axe. We'll need that if we get into a fight, if raiders show up, but otherwise it's just going to kind of sit in our inventory. I'll keep that available. I'll keep these two out. We'll need to eat at least one of them as soon as we wake up. Otherwise, we're just going to get hunting again, try to get the cash up for a backpack. Howdy, Mariana. I'm really, really not happy about that super low butchering score. So the color differential, notice here it starts into gold. This is kind of the work day. And this is the nighttime. We got 2 days of spring, and then it'll switch to summer. How we doing? Oh, 100% energy. Let's get moving. All right, check our map. Shall we go check our game traps? Let's go check our game traps. All right, successfully skinned, hide received. Unsuccessful butchering, we just got meat and we failed to reclaim the small game trap. Next. Apparently, is that one not ready? Oh, these other two I don't have an option for gathering from, so they must not have captured anything yet. Okay, shall we go get foxes this time? A lot of foxes. We hunted out most of the local deer and boar last trip. We got a boar and a deer there on the south end of Attercop. Yeah, let's come up and just grab some foxes, I think. Unsuccessful skinning. Keep seeing unsuccessful messages. Bums me out. How can the hunter with a 70 skill have no butchering skill? I mean, almost none. That is terrible. That is terrible. That is not going to get me much. 13 each. So the numbers here are the blue number in the top left is the quantity 1. Then the buy value, I can buy them for 20 at the market, and I can sell them for 13 at the market. And then this, right-clicking on it, shows all 4 markets that are on the map. So everything's pretty much identical at the moment. Well, actually, the merchant camp is selling at 13. We don't want to sell there. So yeah, we need hides and we need carcasses for any real amount of cash. I'm not sure if I can get carcasses off the small game. Might need to change our focus, but we're almost out of slots, so we got to head to town anyway. Off to the market. Follow camera. Feel like the color for the hour should be more obvious. I don't disagree. All right, Attercop Market. You can have it all. $262. That's not going to get us a backpack anytime soon. Flip my map around so it orients the way I'm used to seeing. So we got a boar way down to the south. A deer there. Let's do it. $64 arrows left. Unsuccessful, unsuccessful. Damn, that butchery skill of nothing sucks. How does a hunter start with no butchery? That is going to be so hugely impactful. Yeah, just unsuccessful everywhere. I mean, I get the same results for that out of the foxes, which is totally wasting the opportunity. Well, yeah, this is not good. I got nothing nearby now. I either got a few foxes up there or I got to go way the hell over here. And we're already at 3 p.m. Looks like our traps are ready to harvest. Let's go do that. Or at least that trap is. How about the other one? Still no on the other one. Failed to get the map. Or to get the game trap. Unsuccessful, unsuccessful, and fail. Story of my life right now. I am unsuccessfully failing my way through everything at the moment. Oh, don't even bother. We're out of slots already again. Yeah, this is going to be rough. If I can't get a hold of corpses or carcasses and hides, that's the only way to really make money. The meat isn't really going to do it. Why, dude? Why? Why did you start at 0? And my butchery isn't really going to help when we buy the butchery business, because that comes after I do this, not as a replacement for doing this. I can't bring the animals here whole and have them do butchering. So this is going to suck. It's going to slow me down so much. I mean, I could go gather berries and vegetables and make money faster than expending a resource I have to purchase in the form of arrows to get these minor meat items. $323. The only good news is right now I'm not paying any taxes. We're not a member of any of the towns, so I don't have to pay taxes on anything other than purchasing and selling at the market, small sales tax. But until we purchase a business or a home here, we're not a member of the community directly. So we have no wages and no rental and no taxation for our assets. Well, 56 and 56, huh? Have another veggie. Come on. Cute. One more run in of hunting. Grab a few more veggies. Unsuccessful. Unsuccessful. Ugh. Three arrows to get a couple pieces of meat. Unsuccessful. Unsuccessful. Gained a level. Be slightly less unsuccessful. So much fail. Damn. Oh, it's already midnight. Nah. What's our energy level? 45. Yeah, let's just go back and sell. Nah, do I even bother selling it? I don't think I'm even going to bother selling it. Just go straight to our little bunk tent. Yeah, this is extremely discouraging. Can't believe I started with no butchery on a hunter. With 70 archery. Anybody spot, or anybody that was here in the first few minutes of the stream that spotted something that would have given me butchery skill? Because I don't think there was anything. I think there was one option that had meat as a choice, but I thought that was going to be a cooking option. I'm pretty sure that was a cooking option. So it's important to keep your stomach full and keep rested because it applies bonuses and or negatives depending on status. Primarily to your immunity system for staving off, illnesses and such, particularly during the winter. Seem to get energy at a pretty quick rate. We're only going to get like 5 hours of sleep and 6 hours of sleep, and then we'll be back to full. I'm not aware that you can. As far as I know, you have to always go through the questions. Go check out our last trap. Failed to reclaim, unsuccessful, unsuccessful. It's so bad. Oh, man. Any larger game respawned out here yet? No. Alright, maybe we'll have to do a little bit of traveling. Come up here and get some deer. And then head over to either Inglewall or Abercrombie. Um... 13, 18, 9, 18, so Abercrombie and Engelwall, the best places to sell right now. Addercop, where I've been selling, price is half of what it is at these places. So, all right, so we're not going to sell locally. Let's go ahead and work our way north. So let's go hunt some deer. Parks me in the middle of a pond. Unsuccessful, unsuccessful. Wow, when's the last time I was successful? Seems like it's been a long time. All full up, so let's head into the market here. So anytime you're focused on something, like currently I'm focused on my character, when you get near any other kind of containers, which is what this is, it pops up this little information bar, or this button. So we can then interact with that storage. So we have my personal storage and then the storage of this nearby location. And we also have my persistent storage. So sell everything to there. Go my personal. Grab them all. And again. All right. So let's go ahead and, just so I don't have to deal with it, buy one vegetable. 68%. I forget how much they give exactly. Let's find out. Took us to 98. Yeah, 30. All right, so 30 each for veggies. I didn't see anything else in the market that I want to buy. No, so we're good there. So we've now delivered a bunch of meat to the market, which is gone already. Really? Okay. Oh, interesting. Still selling at 18. Guess somebody snapped it up. That or some time has to pass before it updates. Nope, there's no meat on that market. All right, heading back out. Already 1 in the afternoon. I haven't gotten anything done. I need to find a backpack to purchase. I forget how much they were. Anybody got a backpack? $5.28 at our home Addercop. Unsuccessful, unsuccessful. Yeah. Jeez. Come on. It is, I mean, we got, I guess we got extremely lucky the first couple of times we hunted because we actually got a hide. It's been like 40 unsuccessfuls in a row since then. Yeah, double unsuccessful yet again. Just meat everywhere. Hey, finally! Successful. I wonder if it's a single check and then you pass both, or if it's two separate checks. I don't really know. Okay, so we got the hide. That's worth 52, and the carcass is 27. So that's why I'm so bummed, because we're not getting any hides. I mean, it's so much more money. All right, 4:30. We got another load to sell. Let's go to the Abercrombie market for that. Hides are 52 everywhere. Carcass, I only have one, but yeah, 27 everywhere. There's not many people delivering those, so it's fine. Let's go sell them there. Love how he just beelines for a path, and he follows it all the way in. I don't know if there's actually any kind of a movement benefit to paths, or if it's just a simpler way for the AI to find to move by following lanes like that. We're still in the sell everything mode, so I'm not keeping any of this stuff. No backpack. No backpack. All right, so we're going to work our way back towards home. I'm going to try to buy a backpack. Hopefully we can gather something on the way. We got foxes there. I guess, oh, we got deer right at our base. All right, let's just run down the road. Grab some deer. There's our tent. Down to 47 arrows already. Unsuccessful. All right, trip to the market. I really want that backpack. It'll change things dramatically. We're still going to have an arrow problem. $5.28. Yes, please. Just one for me. Put it on. All right, so we now have a pack. We have our pockets, we have our backpack, and we have our stash. So this is going to allow us to stack. I think it's 5 per slot. So it's huge, huge benefit, huge upgrade. I'm glad I did it, but I was really hoping to have the butchery up and running within the first few days. What, is this the first day of summer we're wrapping up, or the second day? I guess I'll find out in 30 minutes. But yeah, that's a very significant upgrade for us to be able to stockpile a lot more stuff while we're out. So we can hunt much larger quantities before we have to make the return trip. Time is money. But yeah, arrows is going to be a problem. I got to constantly check the markets and see if anybody's putting arrows out. I think my only chance at the moment is the merchants, the merchant camps and such. But they seem to have a fixed inventory when they arrive, and then they eventually leave. So I already bought up the arrows that were available here. Somebody came and grabbed the last. Did I leave a few? I think I left a few. So yeah, they're zeroed out on arrows. Nothing there I need. And nobody else is going to have any. So we're going to have a definite problem. I think they're made at the workshops. And there's like 8 different things that workshops can make, and they almost never make the damn arrows. I don't know how to request arrows or set up demand for arrows. Off to the bunkhouse. Do I have any food? I do not. We're going to be hungry. So, yeah. Glad we got all of our infrastructure, but we're absolutely going to have a problem with arrows. I'm going to have to pray another traveling merchant shows up. I need these guys to leave and another one to show up with a fresh supply. 53 meat on the market. Price is 9 versus 18 and 18. They've got 18 on the market. Price is 13, so good old supply and demand. Let's pause for a second and take a look at a few things. So, our goal next is to get the butchery. For sale. Right there. We want the butchery. For sale. Butchery produces the small game traps. And it can produce leather. I think you have to upgrade it to get the leather. And so meat and bone charms is probably going to be where we're going to get most of our money if we can start succeeding at butchery and getting carcasses. Takes a carcass. That's quantity 14. I don't know if that means you're going to get 14 charms out of a single carcass. That would seem to be what that represents, but I'm not sure that's how it works. That seems like a weird kind of a recipe combo. 6 meat out of a small carcass, the foxes. Yep, research requirement, tanning rack, so we'd have to get an upgrade installed. 1 wood and 2 fruit, so at least not during winter and spring. During summer and autumn, we can harvest fruit and we can chop wood anytime, but at least we could make traps, which would be a way for us to generate some resources while we're out of arrows. We can make traps and deploy those. Problem is we only get the small game, so might still be able to get carcasses out of that if we get successful butchering. We'll see. All right, but it costs 2,000 silver, so we got a ways to go. And that's where we're going to run into the problem, is running out of arrows, trying to get that 2,000 silver. So I'll have to find some secondary ways to earn income while we wait for that. How we doing? 93. All right, we have no more traps. I do need to go get some food. Let's do that first. Now, what do you want? You want firewood? What is our wood chopping again? Geez, only 27 for the wood chopping. I haven't tried making firewood. I don't even know where you make firewood. I think it requires... Yeah, I don't even know where this is made. I'm not sure we'll be able to take advantage of something like that. Gather those veggies. See, notice how it's stacking now? Oh, yeah. So much better. All right, 5's enough. What do we got? We got a few foxes. We kind of hunted out the deer in this central area. There's a boar there. Lots of foxes. Some deer way up there. Not much arranging around Addercop. Okay. That's interesting. Fishing docks. Postal plot. That's too far to travel. Huh. Well, I guess... we're going to go for the foxes. think I'd rather... Let's go up this way. We got a few deer up here too, so we'll get these foxes and deer. And how's Engelwall doing? Yeah, we should be able to sell there for full price. All right, so we are down here. Yeah, let's just go straight up here.